And I have not faced a single form of racism in this country for last 17-18 years, which I am very thankful and fortunate about for this country. They say classical is for class, not for mass. That's fine.
Oh, someone write that down.
See, I'll tell you one thing. When you choose to come to Australia, you don't directly come to Australia, right? You do some research.
So hey guys, everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of Aussizz Unplugged, raw, fresh, honest perspectives about migrants who are right now thriving and living in Australia. For the first ever episode, we have someone who again is not unknown to these four walls at Auss Group. We have the one and only Mangirish. So Mangirish, before we start, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for calling me.
Perfect. That is great to hear. But before we do start, just because our viewers are also watching this for the first time, if you could give a quick, short introduction of what you do and what you are all about.
Well, a person with the vision and with the aspirations landed in 2006 in Adelaide, which was very less in population, still is very less. Had come up with so many aspirations. I'm not sure if I'm still there yet, but trying my level best every day. This country has given me everything, whatever I have today, and fortunate to be landed in Australia rather than any other country. And I have not faced a single form of racism in this country for last 17-18 years, which I am very thankful and fortunate about for this country.
Perfect. So yeah, it's been a long journey,
Yes.
right? It's been really long. So just doing an MBA in 2006 is, as a 26-year-old, is very unfathomable. At least for me, I was still running around a little kid. But I just want to know, because your journey trying to get into Australia to come here and study was vastly different than what students who are like 17 or 18 today are going through, right?
Yep.
How did that happen? What did you have to access to be able to know that, hey, Australia?
See, at that point of time, we had different options. We had New Zealand, we had Australia, and we had US. Now, of course, most of the migrants, when they come, their main thinking is, will I be able to get sort of job opportunities? Will I be able to get a chance to even consider settlement? Because you are investing a lot of money. At that point of time in 2006, it was still a lot of money. So, of course, these things do come across. You come across that definitely. And at that point of time, considering New Zealand, because it's still little bit out, and there were not many opportunities. There were still opportunities, but compared to Australia, there were not many. So me and my friends chose Australia, and we chose University of South Australia at that point of time because, of course, you rely on agent, their expertise. That point of time, internet was not as much accessible as what is right now.
Yeah.
We used to go to cyber cafe, try and check out on Google what are the information available there. So we had to rely on agent, of course, and we were fortunate that we've been given the right path. So we landed in Australia, South Australia, which is Adelaide. Spent 2 years there, did the studies, and then went out and started looking for jobs. Now, the background was hospitality.
Okay.
That's pretty much the reason we were looking for jobs which can give us, sort of permanent residency. And that's the reason after finishing my studies, I had to go to Darwin, which is Northern Territory, for 2 years, where I've spent 2 years. And that's when, after working there, I got my permanent residency.
I think you got through state sponsorship in
Exactly.
Darwin,
That's
right?
right.
And
That's right.
you don't have. Did you like Darwin as a city? Because I think I've heard you
No.
speak very positively about Darwin.
No.
I mean,
honestly speaking, because I'm from a place called Ratnagiri, which is a part of Maharashtra. It's the middle point between Mumbai and Goa. That's how people know both the cities.
it's a very tempting place to be.
It is. It's basically famous for mangoes.
Okay.
So that's why people call me Mango as well. I don't know why, but that's okay. So I belong to that place, and it is hot.
Okay.
It's a coastal area. Maharashtra is hot. I didn't come to Australia for hot weather. First thing, okay. Northern Territory is hot. I mean, humidity was around, used to be 90-95%. So I did not like Darwin for that reason. But having said that, it gave me the permanent residency.
Okay.
So
Bittersweet.
exactly, that's
Yeah.
right, that's right. So it's bit of both.
Okay.
But yeah, experience-wise, you would say my daughter was born in Darwin.
Okay, so
So
a special
that
place.
is exactly, that's right. But yeah, as I said, weather-wise, I didn't like it.
Well, also that's the other thing. I think just for our viewers to know as well, we're shooting in Melbourne, so I
Yes.
think the last time we saw sun was like 3 quarters ago. So it's
True.
good to be here. It's good. It's a incredibly cold weather. So
Yes.
there's always that. I just also wanted to touch upon, because obviously leaving education and migration aside, a big concern is finding your first job.
Yep.
And it's easier when, I mean, it's a largely easier when you come on an MBA, but if you come on your bachelor's, it's
Yes.
also a big concern, because until you're 18, you're with your mom and dad.
Yes.
Right? And then when
Until
you...
21, I was with my mom and dad.
Oh.
You got
I
to
mean,
rely
Southeast
on
Asians
parents.
we do it well being with our parents,
Of
right?
course.
So those are the two parts I actually want to touch upon. So
Yep.
your mom and dad's reaction, or what role did they play to you coming here? And plus the next part is you're finding your first job. How was that experience?
Yep. Look, mom and dad, my whole entire family is doctors, and I'm an odd man out.
Yeah.
So it's good and it's bad. Dad always wanted me to pursue medicine, but I had no interest whatsoever in doing medicine. I've seen my parents, or my dad especially, going out any time of the. There is no time for doctors. There's no time. Back in India, and he used to work as a government servant. So of course, primary health center, he was responsible. Any time is, he's available. So I didn't want to do that. But he always wanted me to pursue something which is a little bit outside of the box. He knew that medicine is not probably cup of my tea. It's because it needs rigorous
It does.
studies and stuff, and I was not too much into it. I was always too much into sort of, you can say, extracurricular activities.
Yep.
Always into people's person rather than doing some serious studies.
Yep.
So those were my good points. So of course, Australia, why we chose is because everybody at that point of time also used to call it a land of opportunities. If you pursue something, if you're passionate, if you really have vision and want to do something, then Australia is still the space. Because as you know, we are only 25 million, 26 million as a population.
Yep.
But we are 2.5 times of India in the geography.
Correct.
So it's amazing. I mean, the moment we landed here, it has given us that how much you want to work hard. If you have willingness to do it, you can go places in this country. I mean, I'm not being a marketing person of this country, but it's actually, if you ask people who are have done something, they will tell you exactly the same thing.
Yeah, well, if the government is watching and if there's an opportunity open to do marketing, and that's a great way to sell it,
100%.
right?
Yes.
Because I think the other part is obviously internet not being that great for you when you were first applying. Now you get so many opinions that you're not really sure what is a fact anymore. It's very blurred.
Yeah.
You depending on which page of Google you hit, you could get very
Or
contrasting.
which reel you see.
See, exactly, which reel you see, right?
So-
This is gonna be a reel. This is gonna be a part that is gonna make it a reel. I know it already.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on which reel you see,
Yes.
you can get completely different sides, and one might be true, one might not be.
100%.
Very, very interesting, because the next part obviously is you're obviously very passionate about migration, not just because you're a migrant, because you worked here as well.
Yes.
But then obviously now you're in real estate, right? I want to know was that something you always wanted to pursue? Is that just an opportunity that's opened up and now you are in it?
See, at that point of time when I joined, it was COVID time. It was really difficult at that point of time. I tried my level best to whichever organization you work, I'm sure 99.99% of Indians or South Asians try their level best to do the best for the company which they work for. I exactly did the same thing. But then no matter how much input you give, the output, there were limitations because of COVID. But having said that, the CEO of this company, I'm not saying it because I'm sitting in Aussizz, I'm not saying it, I've said it from day one, that person has given me vision. Sometimes it was little bit blur, in my mind. But whenever I sit down with the CEO of this company, I'm very proud to say that in front of him or behind
On
him,
camera, yep.
on camera, that he's got a vision, and that's the reason you would say 27 or 28 branches of one company, which is not easy.
Yep.
Plus, when I could see that the staff of this company, he tried to bring that vision in their head as well, which is equally important, because unless and until the staff members understand what the vision of the company, it's really hard to work towards that. And I'm sure, and I've seen the progress that he's put it in, and he just planted the seed ages ago, and now it's a massive tree. And so many people are basically part of it, and doesn't matter whether I'm still not working with Aussizz, but I'm still in touch with most of my colleagues, and I'm very proud. Yesterday only there was a lady or a girl used to work with me. She was my team leader when I used to work here, and she bought her first property, and she called me, and I met all my ex-colleagues, and that's a very happy moment. I mean, how many times you meet your ex-colleagues and you feel, man, I miss that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So it was a nostalgia yesterday. I put up my Insta story as well, saying that it was lovely meeting, because it brings back all those memories. We worked really hard, and we bring some amazing results, and we're proud of that, and we still are.
Like, it's just like the life of a migrant coming full circle, right?
100%.
It's everything coming to fruition.
Yes.
Seeing your people and yourself grow, I think that is quite beautiful.
True.
So yeah, just touching up back on what you had said about instilling values on the people you work with and stuff like that. That is also slightly of a concern to people who are now entering the workforce. So are you very involved in the hiring process?
No, real estate is sort of an industry where you work for yourself. It's mainly because you what do you say? You run business within the business.
Okay.
So that's why the industry is, of course, different. When I used to work in Aussizz, of course, you work with certain people. You have one aim, but in real estate, of course, your aim is to sell the property what you've got.
Okay.
And of course, get the best price for your vendor. So different industries, but at the end of the day, we work with people.
Okay.
If you're a people's person, I'm sure there are so many other industries as well which you can explore. But as I said, when we started, I've said that this is a land of opportunities.
Correct.
I've seen students who've worked as just a transporter taking the solar panels, and now they have massive companies selling solar.
Okay.
Where would you get that?
True.
There are people who used to drive trucks. Now they have trucks company. I've seen it in front of me. That's happening. So if you have vision, if you really want to achieve something, that's the country.
So no place like Australia to
100%.
make it happen.
100%.
Right? All right, sweet, great. So I'll move on from that now.
Yeah.
I think we're getting a little bit too much into the professional life. As much as people want to get advice, I think they also want to get to know a little bit of lighter side of you.
Yeah.
You're a big classical music aficionado, if we can say that. You love that. Don't you?
I love it, yes.
Right? Yes. And you also are currently running an organization called Manmohini Events. You guys set up events, you get singers and performers from outside the country to come and perform. Yes. How did that kind of start?
Okay, so when I got married in 2008, my wife came in Australia in 2009. Because she's got a background, she's a master's degree holder in Kathak. So she's got a classical background. Okay. Before that, I used to be Bollywood, nowhere close to classical concerts or classical events for that matter. But when she started doing practice and stuff, so if somebody is at your home and it's continuous music happening, you kind of slowly want to know what is this. And that's how I got attracted towards the classical music. So when we used to attend the classical concerts, at that point of time, I used to feel whether at that point of time it used to be either the A or either the low. There was nothing in between. Like sometimes I go for a concert and say how they are doing it the way they are doing it. Like there are no good auditoriums, the sound system is crap, the seats are crap.
Correct.
Everything is just all over the place. So I thought let's pursue this one. Let's try it out. Again, coming back to the land of opportunities. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So we've tried, and people have given me amazing response because I was in the community before that as well. Previously, it used to be, my friends, their friends, their families used to come. So we were like classical concerts or classical music for that matter is not as popular as Bollywood. We all know that.
Yep.
For Sonu Nigam, you can have 5,000-6,000 people, but for classical concert, 500-600 people.
Okay.
So there is that question mark of zero at the end rather than.
Yeah.
So it's always like that.
Okay.
They say classical is for class, not for mass. That's fine.
Oh, someone write that down because I think we can code
That's
on
what
that.
it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. So it's more important about the understanding, and the more you go into it, you don't come out.
Okay.
It's like a billabong.
Okay.
Once you go into it, you don't tend to come out. So it kind of immerses you, which is beautiful thing. So that's when we started doing it and experimenting as well. And slowly we made, because I didn't want it to, वो इंडिया में कहते हैं ना कि एक ने हलवाई की दुकान खोल दी तो 100 हलवाई की दुकान खोल देता है. You are not making your own identity in that process.
Okay.
If you are doing something out of the box, if you are going against the waves, then only you're going to create your name rather than you're just another person. When the CEO of this company opened this one, they were not halwais. They wanted to do something that nobody has done it, and that's the reason they are so successful today. Exactly the vision what the person has given it is pretty much exactly the same, which I want to tell probably 17, 18, 20-year-old guys who want to do something in their life. No matter what people will say that, there are always say there are 3 stages of it. First stage is you're stupid. Okay, if you want to do something out of the box, you're stupid. Second thing is the recognition. Acha, you're doing it, yeah? Okay, no problem. The third thing people will say, how did you do it? So there are always 3 stages of anything. So fortunately, we are on 3rd stage now. Used to be on 1st stage.
Okay.
But this is what it is. So if you believe in something, just go for it. If you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you just need to go either run, walk, whatever, jog, it's your wish. But we started walking, then jogging, then running. And that's what we are trying to do. So as you said that previously we used to bring only the international artists.
Okay.
What I wanted to do, and my wife and my colleagues as well, what we wanted to do is bring the Melbourne-based artists as well.
Okay.
So give them a stage. They're already amazing artists. They actually don't, they don't need introduction, but still for the larger audience, people need to know how amazing they are. So we are doing an amazing concert this Sunday, next Sunday as well. That's the stage for the Melbourne-based artists. They're equally amazing, and people should come and see.
Okay.
I'm not doing marketing here for my concert, but yeah.
If I want, we'll have that link in the description. We have a little bit of a free hand, so we'll have that link. You can check it out for anyone who does love classical music. It'll be beautiful. And I think that just touching on the before, because I love that quote, it's just still in my head, the class and mass thing. What I did want to touch upon is just because classical music as a genre, it is... it just appeals to a very specific kind of people, and I would like to count myself as almost Gen Z, so I know what my people are listening. If it's anything more than 30 seconds, and if there is not swearing involved, I do not like that kind of music, right? So just in that specific way, how do you think specifically 2nd or 3rd generation migrants who are in Australia, who are right now in many ways disconnected from India, how do you think you appeal to them or try to get them into music of this form?
Which crowd you're talking about?
So just I'm talking about young people, maybe
below
like
30?
Below 30.
Okay.
But like say from like 15 to like 22.
Okay.
Getting this crowd of people who with the kind of music they listen to, get them to kind of appreciate when they're so far away from India, and there's a possibility they'll probably never even go back.
Okay.
Right? How do you get these guys to kind of get them to listen to this music more?
So in the classical arena as well, there are 2 things. One is the vocal. So of course there's language is a part of it, and there is instruments where there's no language. So far when it comes to vocal, we've catered for that particular cohort, where we used to invite Ustad Rashid Khan, Vidushi Kaushiki Chakravarti, blah blah blah, well-known names in the vocal department. So they're singers. But this time around, first time ever, as you rightly said, how you gonna take or consider 15 to 30? So we are doing first time ever a Santoor concert. So it's an instrumental concert where there is no language attached. And the son of late Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma is coming as well. So there is a legacy, and there's the reason the name of that concert is the Legacy Tour as well. Now, when there is no language, it can be from Kashmir, it can be from West Bengal, it can be from Maharashtra, or it can be from Kanyakumari or Karnataka, you name it. People from 28, 29 states, 29 now, 28 states, 29 princely, whatever, 29 states, anybody can come because there's no language. So it's just the music. Now, if you like guitar, how did we like guitar? Because we've seen so many Bollywood songs with guitar. That's why we get attracted towards it. If you don't see something, don't comment. If you see and you don't like, absolutely fine, understand that. But if you don't see something, then it's like, don't judge the book by its cover.
100%.
Yeah? You can't say, oh, this is the author, I don't like this author. But you have not seen that. Whether just go with preview, whether understand what it is, and then pass your comment. Exactly the same way.
So it's just about bridging that gap and just let them know, just experience it first.
Absolutely.
Right? Even though there is an issue now of being able to experience classical music in its fullest. I probably did not hear classical music for months until I did yesterday because I had to research for this. So I just had that in the background, just hearing it because I was like, hey, maybe I could make a quip about this.
See, I'll tell you one thing. When you choose to come to Australia, you don't directly come to Australia, right? You do some research. You find out what is Melbourne, what is Sydney, what are the other cities, what are the best things about it. As a student, when you come, you don't know most of the things. You still do research. Exactly the same way, if you want to do something or at least see, YouTube is there, brother. Yeah? You have so many things in there. What my thinking is, don't come to my concert. I'm not inviting you straightforward. If you don't like it, you go on YouTube, have a look, then go. Exactly the same way, if you want to come to Australia, visit so many blogs, so many videos, you understand what this country is all about, and then apply for visa. Suddenly,
those are great parallels to be drawn between the both. I love that that's just fallen into place, but that was an incredibly beautiful parallel to draw between both of them.
100%.
And I think it applies also to the just larger picture in life, right?
Everyone.
That's perfect. This question was quite personal to me because when I was writing it, because I like to call myself as uncultured in front of my friends because I'm also, like, my dad's a migrant. He lives in the Middle East. So I have also been very disconnected from India in large levels, to an extent where I don't even listen to Bollywood music as often as people would expect me to, right? So I think that was just absolutely beautiful. I love that answer. So yeah, now we'll just move on to a bit more of the final segment of how we do it, where again we get even more personal about who you are and what your life like is here in Australia, right? So yeah, I like dragging it on, so it like builds tension. That's my favorite part about doing this. Okay, so this is, again, I fact checked this with you. You met your wife, or you not wife then, obviously, because you met in 7th grade, and the girlfriend at the time, right? 1997. I want to know how that, not necessarily how that happened, but the effect strong relationships have in your life right now, because she also joined you when you were here as an international student, right? So how has that on a visa, right? So how did that kind of transpire from there to obviously the role she plays in your life right now?
So that's the longest and the best.
Got to be safe here.
I want to be safe. Relationship and the best association what I ever had. 2007, when I was in 7th grade at that point of time. Of course, we both were 7th grade in 1997. At the age of at the grade 7, you don't know, really. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We don't know.
Young love.
Exactly. That's right. It's probably, you call it affection, you call it, whether it's attractive, whatever. At that point of time, I don't know, I could see that I could be with this person, and it's just not a fling. It's not in today's world, it's not a hookup.
Perfect for the target market.
I'm slowly coming to you. So I thought that's not a hookup. I proposed her 3 times. 3 times she said no. And I was disappointed. I said, what the hell? I mean, how can you say no to me? There is a bit of ego.
It hurts at the start, right?
Of course. But then again, just, keep going at it. Keep keep doing exactly what you really want to do. You just want to impress someone.
Correct.
You really want to just follow that path. That's what I do in business as well. That helps.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So again, fourth time, she came and said that, would you be,
Yeah.
my husband?
Okay.
And deep within inside, yes, there was ego, but then I said, okay, this is the time. Yes.
Beautiful.
It just happens. It's so organic.
Correct.
That you don't. And since then, I mean, whenever she is doing something, or she runs her dance academy as well. When
Yep.
she's got her concert, I'm behind the stage.
Okay.
When I'm organizing something, I know she's got my back as well.
Okay.
Or I've got her back and she's got my back. Simple as that. It's the best association. So husband and wife, I mean, in today's world, I'm sure everybody, like there was an interview what she did a few years ago, and she wrote a beautiful line there, which I loved it. Everybody comes to this country with 40 kilos of baggage. Yeah? Everybody. Whether you come with Malaysian Airlines, Singapore Airlines, Air India, doesn't matter.
Love Air India.
20, 30, 40. Yeah?
Yep.
Best thing. Then you start building your dreams.
Yep.
Yeah? Everybody's got an amazing story. I'm sure, like me, there are hundreds of people outside who's got a story. It's beautiful for them. I love my story. I love people's story as well. You learn so much from that. Not necessarily, yours is the best. There are hundreds of people who's got the best story. But if you want to build something, the best association starts from home. And that's what exactly happened. Touch wood.
Beautiful.
And so far, that association is going amazing.
Okay, that is beautiful to hear. I think I had like a weird joke that I wanted to pull
Yeah,
out
go for it.
earlier just before that, but just like all the women who said no to me, I could have been in this case talking about you. So I hope you regret it.
Yes. Watch out for this.
That might make it into the reel. That might not even make it to the final video because my mom might watch this.
Okay.
Just
All
like,
right.
my mom doesn't know they exist. So
All right.
let's keep it safe.
That's
Perfect. So 2 more questions now.
Yeah.
The first thing would be, if your 17-year-old self walked in through that door,
Yeah.
and if you could give him 2 sentences as an advice of things they could have done differently.
Anyone?
Anyone, but or just your 17-year-old self. So as 17-year-old walking through that door in Ratnagiri,
Yeah.
right? And you could tell him something that he could possibly do differently in the next few years, his next few years. What would you say to them?
To myself.
Yes.
Look, I want to do something which is not everybody doing. I don't want to be part of a bogey. I'm happy and I want to take risk. I want to do something which is against the waves. I'm happy to ride against the waves. I have in the past and I will in the future as well. But just don't stop following that light at the end of the tunnel just because few people saying it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Beautiful. Yeah. I think we've got a list of quotes today.
Absolutely.
that
I don't know, but
they would make a great preface of a book. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Right? That
All
would
right.
be quite beautiful.
All right.
I think that's all we have time today in conversation with the one and only Mangirish. Mangirish, if you wanted to look into the camera, give a few words about what's coming up next for you for Manmohini events as well. I'm sure the viewers would like to hear that.
Thank you. So on 3rd of September, we are having a Melbourne-based artists coming together, first time ever. There is Hindustani and Carnatic music artists coming together and bringing an amazing concert, which is happening on 3rd of September at Trivandrum Performing Arts Centre. Then we are bringing Rahul Sharma, the Santur legend, who is also a son of late Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, and he's coming with the amazing child prodigy tabla player Aussizz Unplugged. So we are touring. We are going to Melbourne, Sydney, and then Adelaide and Perth. And it's going to be an amazing concert. So if you're watching this one, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, feel free to come out. You can watch their YouTube videos. I'm not saying book the ticket straight away. At least watch it. Understand if you like it, probably 10% of it, I'm sure you'll love it in the concert as well.
100%. Beautiful. All right, Mangirish, thank you so much. That was
Pleasure is all
incredible.
mine.
Yes,
Thank you.
100%.